Let's start again.
Okay.
Let's start again.
Studio Ghibli! Studio Ghibli!
Robbie Williams!
Robbie Williams! We watched another film,
Yes.
Studio Ghibli film, but not really, because it's a mix. It's a half Studio Ghibli and half Wild Bunch, which is a French production film.
Okay.
But I did a bit of homework. Toshiro Suzuki, who's actually produced this and produced many of Ghibli's, produced this film, which kind of makes it a full-fledged Ghibli. Okay. What do you think, Dave? Is this a Ghibli film or not?
It was a film.
It was definitely a film.
I felt that it was. Well, I don't know. It didn't feel like a Ghibli film to me. But then that's just because it didn't have the same style that you become accustomed to with Ghibli.
I don't know. Ghibli. How do you pronounce this?
That was the longest animated short film I've ever seen.
I know what you mean.
It started off really good.
Yeah.
And it had some moments where it was quite like, oh, my God, what's going to happen? I don't know about the story. I didn't even know if there was a story, really. I don't know if I actually felt anything remotely what I've always felt when I've watched a Studio Ghibli or a Miyazaki movie where you feel this weight.
I mean, it's never good. It's not going to be. Miyazaki's a different thing.
It wasn't anything to write home about, but I'm not going to say it was bad or anything like that. It obviously was made with a lot of heart.
It was beautifully animated. Yeah. Obviously, the sound was really good because that's all they had, which was nice because obviously there's no need for translation in a film like that. Because I was wondering, is there going to be subtitles and there's none of that. It's a very such a common story, but Dude Island and all that. But it was so every time something happened, I was like, I didn't expect it. It's there were a lot of moments I'm like, that's not where I thought that was going. That's not where I thought that was going at all. Yeah. But by the end of it, I was like, huh? Yeah. And it was quite weird, but it was strange to me for something to be so peculiar and also so boring at the same time. I think it had some of the Ghibli magic still, though. I remember thinking it was a little bit of that.
Yeah, I did. It did have that because, at the start, when it was going through, I was I was waiting for some Ghibli magic, and then it did happen.
Yeah, it did have it.
And I was like, okay, all right, I can see where it's going.
It was very short. It was actually 1 hour and 20 minutes.
It felt really long for me.
Yeah, it did feel long. It was quite drawn out.
You could probably fit everything that occurred in that hour and 20 minutes in less than that, maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes. You can probably create more of an impact by making it so short because there were some really good moments, but then they just seemed to be drag. It was obviously done with a purpose in mind. I
just don't know what it is.
Don't know what it is.
Also that's the thing. I'm like, that movie just felt so pointless to me.
Yeah.
I liked it. I enjoyed it, but it was just I don't know. Yeah, what were you trying to tell me? What was the point of that?
It actually was quite. Thinking about it, it's actually quite depressing.
Yeah, it was a bleak film. I don't know how I feel. That's what's so confusing about it. It just left me Yeah. I feel emptier after watching it. It's it didn't explain anything. It just kind of went, here's a thing, and here's a thing, and here's a thing. Goodbye. And I was like, what the fuck does this mean?
When it finished, I was glad to leave. Yeah. Which is not a very good feeling as well. Sometimes you're just
it's one of the worst Ghiblis I've ever seen.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it just felt pointless.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Another high-scoring round. So go on. You give me your final thoughts and your score.
I feel like I've said everything. But you know what? The thing is, I think I'm a bit biased because it is Ghibli. I thought it was beautiful. I think if you just watched it, it was amazing. And, visually, maybe the storyline was a bit boring, but I don't know how to summarize it. I have more positives than negatives. The thing is, it just was there wasn't enough to it, or it didn't really seem like it had a point or it knew what it was trying to do. But just as a work of art, I think it was fantastic in the animation department, in the sound department, especially being a Japanese French film, it was clever how it was. It was like how are they gonna get the translation and the words, and then to do it the way they did it was really clever.
Yeah.
And also, as I say, I did like the fact that like, even though it was like pointless, it was never predictable. When there was actually moments, which were few and far between, it was never what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Every single bit of that film that happened was not what I thought, I thought they were going to go. Yeah. Right till the very end. And then it was like, huh? But it was, each point I was like, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think that was going to happen. I was like, oh, I know what's going to happen. It's going to be that kind of story. And it wasn't, and then it wasn't, and then it wasn't. So because of all those reasons, the only thing I faulted is that it was just a bit I give it a 7. I give it a 7. Because it has more redeeming factors than anything.
That's a strong score.
It is a strong score, but for Ghibli, it's actually extremely low.
Yeah. I felt the lack of purpose in the film doesn't do it any justice. It is, I wouldn't say I didn't feel it was beautiful. I think it was really well done. It just felt like, an independent artist's animated film. Yeah, that's what it felt to me. Absolutely. It didn't feel like it had the weight of a legendary studio behind it, and I feel a bit disappointed about that. I feel like when you put the Ghibli name on a film, it needs to it's like a stamp of approval. It's it's like Tesco's finest. I reckon. It's like Waitrose Essentials. It's like the shit that you got to go get. You're not going to go for the Tesco value spaghetti option. You're getting Tesco finest spaghetti. That stuff's going to have like wine in the damn ingredients, man, and not just ketchup. So like, I felt a little bit let down by that. But then but that's not to say it's bad. It's just my expectations were probably very high, and what was served was slightly less than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was also the fact that the story was. I feel it would have been so much better if it was just a short film. Yeah. It's just because the story itself has this kind of lack of purpose. It works better as like a little poem.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and rather than this tale, which
because you wait the whole time for and like you just never get that, and it's just like there it is. That's done. Credits.
But the positives are. And I will say, is the sound design.
Yeah. That was what it's all about.
That opening, it's not spoiling anything, but the opening of it is exhilarating, I have to say. Yeah, I really well done. Yeah. And it just, there were funny moments in it.
Yeah, we were laughing
really funny moments.
Yeah,
made you smile. Yeah. And the characters weren't bad. They were like kind of like you kind of felt for them for a certain bit. But overall, I would be giving it a 6.
Fair.
Because I feel that it just doesn't warrant.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Doesn't warrant that kind of.
I just can't. I can't. I feel like Ghibli's listening to me. I gotta be.
Don't worry. I think if they are listening to you, they'll be very upset with their actions, and they'll rectify it by releasing the sequel to Spirited Away.
No ways, never. There was, I reckon though. You know what I think happened? Like Miyazaki goes into retirement, and they were like, "We made this new film," and Ghibli and he watches like, "I'm coming out of retirement!" No! And he's like, "I'll do another one. I reckon. I swear to God, that's brought him out of retirement.
Is it too late to cancel this?
Yeah.
No, we've already released it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, another film that you probably will not see.
There's another video you probably will not watch. You have not seen this video.
you must start from the beginning. Watch the very first one all the way to this one.
Yeah.
But anyway, here we are. And we're gonna go listen to some Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams.
Through it.